Game film to watch. Anything stand out watching for a second time?
Just we got some tremendous effort. I think that's the signature of that film, was just tremendous effort, something we believe in as a staff. Our defensive line's relentless effort to try to get this man on the ground and try to disrupt passes. Offensively, I think the effort that it took to get the lead and get the ball with 3 minutes and 55 seconds and hand the ball off and end the game with the offense on the field took some great effort. A lot of toughness, physical toughness. It was a hot day against a great opponent, but I think the effort, the mental and physical toughness showed up yesterday more than anything.
Jon, how different is this offense when you have healthy Henry Ruggs?
Well, I don't know. We're just starting to find out. We haven't had a healthy Henry Ruggs really for a full game until yesterday, so hopefully that's a sign of good things to come. I also want to continue to compliment Aguilar, the job he's done since he's been here, and hopefully Brian Edwards can return after the bye. But we're just learning about Ruggs. We're just getting them into the offense. We got to do a better job of that in coming weeks.
Yeah, Jon, normally this week you have a couple practices, then you bid your team farewell and say, be smart, we'll see you when you get back. What can you tell us about the bye week protocols and what goes on? Are they still being tested? What exactly happens?
There's a lot of protocols, Jerry, and Mike Mayock and our staff keep me abreast of all those. They have to come in every day to be tested. That's mandatory by the league and the players' union. None of the coaches are allowed to leave town either. We've got to be in town and tested every day. So we'll open up our building for the players to come in and do that, obviously. And we're going to challenge our guys to be smart, wear the proper face shields wherever they go, be very careful, because we would like to keep this group together and see what we can get done the rest of the season.
Hey, Jon, on third down, whether it was third and short or third and long, you guys really busted off some big plays. What was it that kind of stood out to you on what you guys did offensively on third down yesterday?
You know, sometimes the coverage dictates where the ball goes. That had part of the reason why I think the ball was thrown down the field. Sometimes, it's third and down and 1. You want to take a shot, and we threw an interception. It was a bad call by me. But there's risk and reward on every deep shot that you take. And fortunately, we came up with some big-time plays on third down yesterday and 2 on fourth down. Quarterback sneaks by Derek Carr, which is not something he's been associated with a lot. And I think he's walking around here now. He's got all kind of bruises and tape on him. And I'm really proud of those 2 quarterback sneaks as much as any of the plays.
Jon, kind of following up on what Vic was saying at the first question, can you kind of go into maybe what was a little more surprising now that you've looked at this a second time that you say, wow?
Like I said, we felt we can beat anybody. We are a confident group of guys. We fell way behind the Saints. They're a team that won 13 or 14 games last year. We fell way behind, and we found a way to hang in there and get back in the game and ultimately win it. But I like the contributions that we're getting from so many people. 11 different receivers. Jacobs is the headline here, but Devontae Booker came in and made big plays for us. Jason Witten, his pass protection, his run blocking, big catch on 3rd and 2. And then on defense, Kendall Vickers. No one knows he's alive but me and the Raiders. This guy did a great job yesterday. Chris Smith played the under tackle position. Here's a guy that's a 7 or 8 year veteran that's a defensive end, and he's lining up in there as a defensive tackle. So I'm really proud of Dayton Jones and all the players that have contributed through the first 5 weeks, and I hope it makes us a better team in this next 10 weeks.
Jon, I was going to ask about Chris Smith and Dayton Jones there, but you kind of got into it. So I'll ask you, the bye week comes right now. You don't get the control over when that happens, but is it good because you've got some guys to heal up, or is it bad because after that game yesterday, you want to get out there and continue that momentum?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the bye weeks. I never really have been. I like to keep playing. I'd like to play doubleheaders sometimes, but it is part of the schedule, as you know. So in some ways, it'll give Trent Brown an additional couple days to respond to his first game. We're hoping that Richie Incognito can come back. Obviously, Maurice Hurst, Malik Collins, Damon Arnett, Brian Edwards. We got a lot of guys that are still on the mend. So I'll take this bye week this year at this time.
Hey, Jon, you've said before that in your first run with the Raiders, that second season, that season finale at Arrowhead that you guys won in overtime, you've said that saved your job at that point in time. And obviously these are different times. You know, you're not in danger of losing your job or anything like that. But was the vibe, the feeling of winning such a big, important game at Arrowhead, did that vibe kind of feel similar coming back home?
No, we've had some luck in Arrowhead. We won some games there in Tampa as a coach, and obviously here with the Raiders. Us coaches, we're always fighting for our job every week. Paul, you know that. My hat goes out to Dan Quinn, obviously, Bill O'Brien. These are friends of mine. We're fighting for our jobs every week, and I don't have any more security than anybody else. We needed to beat the Chiefs because they're in our way. We want what they have. So it's time we went out there and did a better job of taking care of the football, which we finally did. And secondly, we hung in there and weathered the storm and found a way to win.
Jon, when you looked at the film, what did you see out of the impact Ferrell made? And is that as good a game as he's played for you guys?
Yeah, it was. I'm glad you brought his name up. You know, the statistics don't always show what a player does. Our factor grade, I thought he had 13 or 14 factor plays that really helped us win this game. He played inside, he played outside, he showed the ability to convert his speed rush to power, showed good chase and pursuit, great energy and effort, and that was his best game, I think, as a Raider, and especially in the second half.
Hey, Coach, I just want to get your thoughts on Jeff Heath. Earlier you read off some names, but he had a big game as well, especially that big interception. Can you talk about what Jeff Heath brings to the team?
Yeah, I like Heath. I'd like to get him on the field more. I think you'll see him more and more play on certain situations. He's got great speed. He's got very good range. He's got ball skills. He's a good tackler. He's a great special teams player. We're happy to have him. I mean, we have played a lot of different people in the secondary. As you know, Joyner went down on the first play. I thought Amik Robertson stepped in there as a nickel corner, played pretty good. So it's good to have some depth, and proud of everybody's contributions.
Jon, you kind of just mentioned it because I was going to ask about the secondary, but I think you guys had 7 pass breakups yesterday. Like, what really stood out to you about the way you guys were able to cover this receiving core from the Chiefs, which is obviously stacked?
Well, we had to cover them for about 11 seconds at times on every pass. I mean, that's the thing. You know, the word plaster is the word that a lot of us use as coaches. When the quarterback starts scrambling, our D-line has to get them, but we have to plaster to our coverage for 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds sometimes. And some of those pass breakups were exceptional efforts to hold on to their coverage as long as they did. And it's a credit to Jim O'Neill and Paul Gunther and certainly our players for buying into that and getting that done.
Hey, Jon, Travis Kelce had a big first half yesterday. Seemed like you guys did a good job on him in the second half. You change anything up, or what was the difference in the second half?
We got to change it up on a guy like that, and we tried to change up some looks. If you line up in the same look every play, you're in trouble. But they got us a couple times with their scheme, and Kelce got us a couple times because he's one of the best. And we got to do a better job against him. We say that every time we play him, but he's like Waller. You can line him up anywhere you want, and whether you're playing man or zone, he can defeat any coverage.
Hey, Jon, in the second half, there was about 2 or 3 series in a row where Josh Jacobs wasn't on the field at all and Devontae was the guy. Was that part of what the game plan was, to keep Josh fresh as a closer, or was he kind of nicked up at the time? What was going on there?
No, we're just trying to keep Josh fresh. You know, he's got 106 carries. It's hot yesterday. It's 90 degrees out there. And Jacobs is doing a lot for us. So we get Booker out there. We got to get more Booker. 2 reasons. Number one, we need to rest Jacobs a little bit more. And secondly, Booker's a good back. So you'll see a little bit more Booker down the next 10 or 12 weeks.
Jon, how would you assess the progress of Marcus Mariota, and might he be a backup candidate when you guys are back playing Tampa?
I don't know, Jerry. We're going to have a practice on Wednesday. It won't be for everybody. We're going to go outside and work on fundamentals and continue to work with some of our young players, and we'll get Marcus out there with Nate Peterman and throw the ball quite a bit, see where Marcus is. We like what we've seen on the practice field the last 7 or 8 days. And I like what Peterman's doing now. You haven't seen him at all, but we have. Nate Peterman is getting better and better, and we'll see where Marcus is health-wise on Wednesday.
Great. Thank you, everyone.
All right, guys. Have a good one.